Alright guys, so welcome to Saturday. So here's your video update. Yeah, so but anyways, I got yeah, so it's a good day today. It's warm out. It's not as warm as yesterday. Yesterday we went shopping. So today I'm doing the usual, cleaning out the sewer tank. I didn't do it last weekend, because I thought I could get away with it because it was so blusty, damn cold out. So I'm doing it today, but I got to keep up with it, because if I let it go, then my basement starts to flood. I think the main pipe is cracked. It's either a main pipe or there's like a secondary pipe there or something. I have no clue what the hell's going on there. But it all needs to be replaced anyway to get it up to date. But yeah, so basement's flooded again. I gotta clean that out one of these fucking days. But it seems like if I keep up with it, then nothing happens. So I hate having to do it when it's freaking, minus 20 out, but whatever. I make it a little bit easier for myself because I use the tractor, the little lawnmower there. I used to have to pull the lid off because the lid's so heavy, it's made out of solid concrete. So I have to, yeah, I used to do it by hand, but that's a lot of weight. I'm pretty sure that damn thing weighs close to 300 pounds. It's barely enough for the tractor to pull it. It won't pull it the first go around, but you got to get a run at it, and then it'll yank it out just enough so you can, do what you got to do. I don't like having to do it, but I got to. I got to I can't let my basement flood, so figured I'll do that today. But for some reason, it's not as full as it normally would be, so it's going to be empty by the time I'm probably done making this video. It'll be empty, but yeah, so I gotta do that today. And then we went shopping yesterday, and I took the Tahoe out in the morning. I left it out all day, because we were shopping and whatnot. And then I went to start it to put it back in, and it wouldn't crank. It was turning over, but it wouldn't fire. It acted like it wasn't getting any fuel. So I don't know what the hell was going on there. But it does have the check engine light is on, and I know Greasy Six was saying something about on his that his comes on, but I think it was because of the fuel cap or something. I don't know. I guess there's a sensor on his, but I don't think there's one on mine. You think it would be kind of the opposite. Mine would have it, but his wouldn't, because mine's newer and his is older. So, but yeah, it wasn't giving off any error codes for that. And for it not wanting to start, I'm not really sure. I was thinking maybe the fuel pump was going out, or maybe it's getting weak. But my uncle said that some vehicles will have a sensor built into them as well to let you know that's going out. But he said he didn't pick nothing up. But he said there's also probably a good chance that it doesn't have a sensor. But whatever. So I started it up today. I got it actually running out in the driveway right now. I got the high idle on. Because I got everything out of the garage because Mother wants to clean it. So, and I needed the tractor anyway. And I figured, well, I'm out, I might as well get the Tahoe out of the way so that she can really clean really good and whatever she wanted to do. But I don't like starting them up, letting them run for like maybe a minute or two and then shutting them off, because it hasn't even gotten up to operating temperature. It's probably there by now. And with the high idle on, it definitely warms up quicker. But it started fine today, so I don't know what the hell was going on with it yesterday, where it was, running like shit, or it wouldn't even fire. So, but I don't know, I fired all right today. But it is kind of running a little bit rough, I noticed, during startup. Right after it catches, But the reason why it has the check engine light on, and I know another guy suggested that I go buy one of those code readers that you can plug into your vehicle, and then it'll tell you the codes, and then it'll tell you what's wrong with it via the codes. Well, I didn't have one. Somebody recommended to go get one, but I asked my uncle if he had one, and sure enough he does. He's got kind of one of the cheaper versions. So he came over the other day, plugged in the Blazer. It's giving off 2 error codes, and it's for Bank 1 and Bank 2. They're running too rich. So I think that's why the check engine light is on, because it's running too rich. And I don't know exactly what's going on there. My uncle recommends to change the spark plugs anyway, even if because I've never replaced them since I bought it. But he recommended just to replace it anyway. Well, it's not going to get replaced until it goes in. It's going to have to go in anyway. They figure out what's going on with the engine, why it's rich on Bank 1 and Bank 2. Get the block heater replaced. I think that was it. I don't know. And then I got to take it somewhere else to get the airbags replaced. And then, yeah, so, but, yeah, so I don't know. It's just, it is what it is, unfortunately, but it's just gonna, it's still running, but it's just gonna have to run that way for a while. It's gonna have to get tuned up eventually, because I need it to be reliable. Hopefully I can get it going before haying season, I don't know, but, because I don't think this thing's gonna be running much. It may or may not, but, so, but yeah, that's the problem with the Tahoe, is that she's just running rich on Bank 1 and Bank 2. I don't really know what that is, but it's just, yeah, it's running rich. And don't know why it lost fuel prime the other day, but this morning, or just a little bit ago, I fired it up and it started just fine. So I'm not really too sure what's going on there, if it's just being stupid or what, I don't know. That's the problem with, fucking computers, is just that, sometimes they're glitchy, especially when they're cold. They just act, sometimes they'll glitch out, and then you have to redo it or reset them, but I don't know. So, but the other thing I want to talk about, that's it on that. Well, the tractor, I know somebody was talking about the reason why the oil was rising, and it could have been because maybe there was oil or fuel getting in. Probably. I think one guy said it could have been maybe something in the carburetor, it was leaking or something, I don't know. And then I think it was AJ that said that it could be bypassing the piston rings. Maybe there's a spark plug. The spark plugs could be getting weakened, he said, and maybe it's not firing, the way it should be, and it's not burning all the fuel. Could be. The spark plugs that are in that thing are original to when I bought it brand new. I've never replaced them. Same with Big Red, they're original to the machine, to when they were new. So, but I will replace the spark plugs when I call John Deere. That won't be until probably June or July. That's when I like to change my oils. I don't even know if I'll change the oil in Big Red. I don't know. It's just, because I don't think I'm anywhere near my goal yet. Of course, if I drive it somewhere this summer, I don't know, but I probably won't be driving it much, but it ain't gonna matter. So, but yeah, so I'm just gonna order some spark plugs for the John Deere when I order oils and a filter, change the engine oil, and that'll take care of that. If that doesn't, it may or may not fix the problem. If it continues, it hasn't risen or rised or whatever you want to call it. It hasn't gone up since I dumped some out. So it could have been, I don't know. It could have been when it was really, really cold out. I don't know. It's just, because you think if it was the spark plugs, you'd think that it would be an ongoing issue. And I guess it was AJ, it must have been him. He thought that maybe I wasn't running that tractor hard enough. I don't know. I run it hard enough. I mean, I blow a lot of fucking snow, and now I'm doing the farmyard on top of that because their blower took a shit. So I'm out. Depending on how much snow we get, it all depends on how much snow we get. My place alone, and again, depending on temperature. If I can go non-stop, like today, if I was moving snow today, I could go non-stop. I wouldn't have to go in and warm up. So I could blow my whole entire yard within 40 minutes. And then the farmyard, it probably would take an hour and a half. Again, depending on whatever. But if it's minus 40 out and there's wind, then yeah, I'm only going for a few minutes and then I got to go warm up. But in the meantime that I'm warming up, the tractor's still running. I got it on the high idle, so it stays warm. But I don't ever shut it down. I don't like starting and stopping stuff, multiple times because it'll burn up the starter. So. But yeah, so I don't know. But yeah, I'll replace the spark plugs and shit. When the time comes, I'm gonna just get all that through John Deere. I'm not gonna get like aftermarket or whatever. I'll just get whatever John Deere offers, and that'll be good enough. So, but yeah. So another thing I wanted to talk about, because I'm pretty much done with that. Somebody was talking about the CV mount that I was going to put in the Tahoe, and they recommended to get some kind of a nut rivet thing, I think it was pronounced. Basically, you drill a hole through your mount, and you put this little round tubey guy inside your hole, and then when you run a bolt through it, it kind of expands a little bit, and then it locks it in. So then basically what I'm doing is I'm using a nut, and I'm wedging it into the cup holder instead of using like a self-tapping screw like I was thinking. Well, I wasn't really, at first I was thinking a self-tapping screw, but then I figured, well, maybe just an ordinary screw would work too, because self-tapping screw, they do a lot of digging before they grip, so I would rather not really do that. But then somebody, I can't remember who now, but somebody was saying that, well, yeah, they were saying to not even do that because, then you're just gonna wreck the cup holder and whatever else. Well, it's already got holes everywhere anyway, so what's one more? But he recommended to get one of those little, I think they're called nut rivets or nut things, whatever. I have no clue what the fuck they were, but I know what he was talking about because I googled it, and I went to Hardware Hank there, which they are now calling themselves Ace. They're no longer Hardware Hank, they're Ace. But it whatever, so it doesn't matter. But he said that he didn't have that, but he had kind of the next best thing, and that would be this right here. Now, he gave me an extra one because I asked for it. But basically, it's got little these little ripping teeth on it. I don't know how good that's going to show up on camera, but this guy right here, that's what he said that he had, and then he said for plastic, that would probably be kind of the best thing. Because I told him what I was working with, and he said, well, that probably would be better. So I kept a spare one just in case, in the future. But so I went ahead and installed one, and I think it'll work just fine. So I'll grab my mount here. I gotta try it. I haven't even installed it, and I did this yesterday, but it was getting laid out, and I didn't want to fuck around with it anymore. So basically what I did is I drilled a hole, and I couldn't get this in the way that I wanted it to. I thought I could maybe pound it in with a hammer, but that wasn't working out. So what I found out was just to try to put a nut on the backside and basically squeeze this guy in there. And that worked out pretty well, except one. Which one was it now? There was one, I think it was this one, I think. It didn't drive in quite right. It didn't go in like it should have. But it, I don't think it's coming out because this is a hard plastic, and I don't think it's going to be a problem. So basically, you drive this in, until it bottoms out. I hope the bolt is long enough. It may or may not be long enough. I may have to get a different one, but I'll try it for now. And this has threads on the inside of the hole of the metal spiky guy. There's threads inside of it, and it takes a 7/16 socket to drive that in. So it's not perfect by any means. It ain't like flush, but you're not really going to see that really anyway, because I just don't have like wires and shit all over it, so it ain't going to really matter. But that's kind of what it looks like now. I've yet to actually physically install this, which I'm probably going to do today when I'm done, you know, cleaning poo. So, but, well, more or less just dirty water, not the poo. I leave that behind, but nobody wants to hear about that. So, that was the second best thing that he had. He didn't have the other types that one guy recommended. And, you know, if this becomes an issue or something, I can just put some, like, super glue or concrete glue or whatever in there, and that'll stiffen it up even more. But I don't think it's going to be an issue. And somebody also recommended to maybe put some double-sided tape on this, on the bolt, so when you snug it up, you're not destroying the cup holder. I think I'm just going to put some Gorilla Tape on it or whatever, and then just kind of double layer it or whatever, and then snug it up that way, and then it should be fine. So, but that's what I came up with. That's what the hardware guy came up with, and then he gave me the bolt. And like I said, I got a spare one because I figured, well, you know, if I ever want to do another mount or something, or another radio, then I can just get another one of these mounts, do the same thing, and then he'd be good to go. So, but yeah, so that's what I got done there. That's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to tell you, because that was all that I did. I will go ahead and tighten this up. I forgot about it. I'm going to go ahead and install that off camera, and then maybe I'll let you guys know what's going on. And then, yeah. So right now I'm going to let the Blazer sit outside, high idle, drip for a while. It's just dripping something off the muffler. I kind of noticed too that the muffler likes to collect water after a while. Of course, mind it doesn't get hot enough, but I noticed that if you let it sit on the driveway, ass end downhill, it'll leak out. And then if you have it running on top of that, well, then it'll really kick it out. So I'm just gonna do that. Let it sit there for. It's probably up to temperature now, but it'll be fine. So, but yeah, so that's all I got done yesterday, and what's what I got planned for today. Clean the pooer out, the poo tank, and yeah, let the Blazer sit outside for a while, drip dry, and get hot for a while, and yeah, and then we'll figure out what to do with that engine problem, and that won't be until later on. So, because I don't have time for it, and I just don't have the money. Even though I can put it on the bill, but I don't have time for it. So, it's also not very nice out. So, it's nice today, but it's too late anyway, because they're only open, I think, half a day on Saturdays, so there's no sense of even taking it there. But, yeah. So that's all I got planned, I guess, to show you guys. Was the CB mount, and talk about the Tahoe, and the John Deere, and whatever the hell else. So, that's all that I had planned for you. But I'll let you guys know, maybe an update video or whatever, to see how that mount turns out. And then if it's good, then we'll just roll on with it. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to take off. So I guess I have a good day and stuff. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.